Greetings, schools, and welcome to another talk about horror television. Tonight we're taking a look at a spooktacular episode of The Hitchhiker, titled In the Name of Love. We open at the Blue Light Bar as two men exit their cars and enter. It's quiet inside. We learn the two dudes are there to conduct some sort of business. The one man goes to the bar and orders a scotch. He drops some money on the floor and spots a looker next to him.
You're not my mother.
Guess I'll have to teach you the manners she never did. What's the magic word?
Oh, please.
Pussy.
She makes her way upstairs while he tells his partner he's going to be 10 minutes. He enters the room and gives her some cash. He'd like to get that part out of the way quickly. However, she wants to exchange names and do a bit of small talk. He's not into it and starts savaging a bit. He grabs her breast and finds a cutlet, which really throws him for a whirl. He's very confused by it. He calls her a freak. She approaches him closer and closer. In the hall, his partner is flipping out looking for him. He enters the room and finds his partner bleeding and cold on the mattress.
What is this?
This is this.
Wow, I love that. The woman turns out to be an international hit woman, Jackie Dresser. She leaves the bar and eventually meets up with the man who hired her to murder. The man she killed was a drug czar and his death made the front page. Jackie's boss tries to hire her for another gig. This one is more worthy of her talents. The target is a blackmailer of women, puller of heartstrings. But Jackie refuses the job. She's actually going on vacation. She scribbles down the name and number of another hit person, hands it off. She takes her cash and heads back to her place. We learn that Jackie is love-starved and deeply sad without her love. She has photos of a man named Billy all over. The next day, she arrives at a lovely resort. She pays for her room and stacks of bills. Johnny, the fitness instructor, quickly swoops in to try to gain the attention of Jackie. A blonde woman who is excited for her fitness class warmly welcomes Johnny. Jackie makes a phone call when she gets to her room. We can't hear who it is she's talking to, but the call abruptly ends when she slams it down in rage. We meet back with Doris, hanging by the pool with Johnny. We learn that she's married to the richest plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, but she's horned up for her fitness instructor. Johnny tells her he has to skedaddle and dips out to look for Jackie, who is wandering the dark woods. He finds her and they take a romantic walk in the forest. We learn a bit of his backstory and Jackie seems uninterested, but agrees to go out for a bite to eat. They go to a lovely bistro and Johnny is pulling all the moves out on her. He asks her about her wedding ring. Only a moment into their beautiful evening out, Doris storms in and makes a spectacle of them. Apparently, Johnny blew off their plans and Doris is pissed. Jackie isn't the one to mess with, though. She picks up the steak knife and for a moment considers stabbing the woman. She decides to drop it and they exit to go make out in a secluded spot. Later on, they make love. Jackie has fallen hard for Johnny. Doris pays off the front desk guy to find Johnny. Doris goes upstairs to apologize to Johnny, but nobody answers the door. Jackie decides then that it's time to tell Johnny the truth, that she isn't the wife of some insanely jealous rich husband. And just as she says that, pictures fall out of the envelope he's holding. The pictures are from their affair last evening. He planned to send them to her husband, but he doesn't exist. She's pissed off. So pissed that she stabs him in the gut and calls him a liar before shoving a gag in his mouth. Heading up the stairs into the door, Doris. She breaks into his room and sees him resting on the bed. We see Jackie get into Johnny's car to leave, but Doris has new plans for who she thinks is Johnny. She pushes the button and blows the car to smithereens, killing Jackie. Later we meet back up with the original man on a bench. I guess the hit contractor of sorts. He's meeting up with the blonde woman who just so happens to be Doris. The job he had for Jackie was to get rid of Johnny, but she wasn't interested even though it would have saved her life. What a small world for hit people. If only Jackie had known. Amazing. I sure love this episode, and I'm going to rate it a 9 out of 10 for the series The Hitchhiker. This one is a joyride for 80s action lovers. The cast and direction was great. I almost always love the style choices in the show, it really sets it apart, and I enjoy that it took the risk on doing this episode. It's not conventional horror, but it still fits in with the rest of the Hitchhiker universe, and it's still adored by me. If you love The Hitchhiker, let me know in the comments so I know to keep making more content on this series. If you would like to help keep the lights on over here, my merch shop and my Patreon are two great ways to help fund new content. This channel is entirely funded by the people, and I can't thank you all enough. If you have any content recommendations, be sure to comment, as I love covering your favorites. Thanks so much for watching. Be well and stay spooky.